We're talking about the say-do ratio and how you can better keep your commitments with this one tactic. We're going to be diving in.
Do you want blissful balance in your personal and professional life? Great. What's up, guys? My name is Cary and I want to help you happy hustle a life you love, one full of passion, purpose, and positive impact. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, a professional model / actor, a digital marketing specialist, a podcast host, author, a biohacker, an eco-warrior, a martial artist, a hippie cowboy, and a humanitarian. My goal is to educate, inspire, and entertain you to live a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact.
It is time to happy hustle your dream reality. Yee-yee. Keep your say-do ratio high, and you, my friend, will be happy hustling a life of integrity. What's up, guys? My name is Cary Jack. I am a lifestyle entrepreneur and author and founder of The Happy Hustle. And I want to share with you how you can actually happy hustle with more integrity, more fulfillment, and ultimately you will have more impact if you keep your say-do ratio high. Now, this is a concept that my friend Ryan, shout out to him, just introduced me to, and it makes a ton of sense. What you say must be followed up with action. Okay. And a lot of people get this twisted. They say one thing, they do another, but you must keep your say-do ratio high and consistent. That is how you can happy hustle with integrity. And I want to actually share with you an example of how you can do this more efficiently and effectively. But before, I want to get into a little story about recently how this happened in my own business, and it completely broke the trust and it spoiled the relationship. And it's sad. And I won't get into too many details just to protect the confidentiality of this person that that I was contracted with. But essentially what happened was I hired someone to do a job. Okay. And we were very clear on the job's specs, right? Exactly what was to be responsible for and the time and the effort output and the responsibilities of the scope of work were very clearly identified. Now, they were identified verbally, and this was a mistake that I made. You have to put the scope of work in writing and get a signed agreement, even if it's a friend. You just want to make sure everything's super crystal clear. Okay. Now, this person committed, they agreed on the rate that we set forth and negotiated, and that was that. Now, a day before the job was supposed to be performed, this person called me and asked, essentially extorted me for double the rate. He said, "Hey, you know what? I need double if I'm going to do this job that I already agreed that I would do." And I was like, "What? What do you mean you need double? We already talked about this, man. You said one thing, now you're doing another. Your say-do ratio isn't consistent. You're not being a man of integrity." And I was like, "How could you expect me to pay double when you already committed to the rate that we already, discussed?" And this person, "Well, I thought there was going to be less work, or, and this is turning out to be more than what I anticipated, and blah, blah, blah." And that, fortunately we came to a working agreement. It was frustrating. I didn't pay double. By no means would I do that. That's just completely ridiculous. But I did end up having to incentivize this person with other means. And, what happened from there was a complete spoilage of the relationship because this person said one thing and then did another. And the whole job that this person performed from there forward, I was resentful because this person basically tried to fuck me on the rate. And I was pissed off about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get through it, and be a professional. But that just completely told me everything I need to know about this person's character and integrity, because the say-do ratio wasn't high. It was actually quite low, right? He said one thing and then he did another. And I'm asking, and I'm bringing this up, not as a poo-poo story or shame on this person or whatever. It is what it is. I want to just bring it up for you so you can consider where your say do ratio is at truly, and if you're being consistent with the things that you say you're going to do. And just ask yourself, because for me personally, I know whenever I don't do what I say I'm going to do, I feel like dog shit. I honestly, like, it eats at me. And I like to be a people pleaser. I want people to like me truly. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm a happy hustler. I want to help everyone happy hustle. And when I don't, do what I say I'm going to do, first of all, it eats at me. Second of all, I feel like I'm letting people down. And that is, maybe stemming from childhood wounds or whatnot, but I don't want to let people down. Right. And I've done a lot of self work in this department, but this is something that I want you to consider. The say do ratio for you right now in your business in every regards, it is affecting who trusts you, who does business with you, who follows you. And if you are not keeping your say do ratio high, unfortunately, you are lacking integrity. And you have to think about that and how you can potentially change it. This is something, again, I'm not sitting on my high horse here. I have made plenty of mistakes. I have done lots of things that were not consistent with what I said I was going to do. And those still are like little nagging things on my shoulder where it's like, oh, you said you were going to do this, but you haven't done it yet. And I love the public proclamation of saying something that you're going to do, but you then have to follow it up with action, right? And take accountability and be disciplined doing so. So I want to give you one tactic that you can use to actually keep your say do ratio high. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Apologies for interrupting your programming, but I have to tell you, the best investment you can make in yourself is one in which helps you acquire skills. You've probably heard people talk about, oh, just invest in yourself and you'll be successful. Yes, that's true to a degree, but you have to invest in skills that will ultimately help you achieve your desired results. And I think one of the best skills one can possess, be it an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, is the sales sword. Really knowing how to sell, utilizing pressure free persuasion, which will make you more money and more impact. Now, if you want to know how to sell more efficiently and effectively, I just launched a sales course called The Proven Roadmap Process to Selling Millions of Dollars and helping you to increase your conversions guaranteed. And you can get access to this new sales course that the Happy Hustle is launching at thehappyhustle.com/sales. And if you act fast, you'll get it at the lowest price it'll ever be available, because we are launching it and we want to gain amazing testimonials and social proof to further share this knowledge. So if you act fast, you can get it at the lowest price it'll ever be. That's at thehappyhustle.com/sales. Now let's get back to this episode. All right. And that tactic is, drum roll, please, consequences. Consequences, again, these are some of my favorite things. And they're my favorite in the sense that I actually will get more accomplished and do more of what I say I'm going to do. But they're not my favorite in the sense that if I unfortunately fail in keeping my commitment, then I have to suffer the consequence. And recently, for the Happy Hustle Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventure that we went on, we had all the guys, and I'd like to do this after every mastermind, typically, where you have your personal and professional goal that you are going to accomplish within 2 weeks from returning from the mastermind. So it's not just go to the mastermind, have a great time, mix business with pleasure, blah, 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 right? It's actually leave and implement things. And then we had consequences if you did not fulfill on your obligations and complete your personal and professional goals. So we had our 2-week follow-up call recently with all the guys, and there was some guys that hit their goals and it was awesome and they didn't have to suffer their consequences. And then there was other guys who did have to suffer their consequences because they did not finish or fulfill on their goals that they set forth. And consequences can motivate the heck out of you, but it has to sting. It can't be like, oh, I'm not going to watch TV tonight. It's like, you're not going to really feel that pain. It needs to be painful. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to eat my favorite food for a month, right? I'm not going to drink coffee for a week, right? Whatever. I'm not going to, I'm going to donate $1,000 to the opposite political party, right? It has to be a consequence that's going to sting, that will motivate you to do what you say you're going to do. So you keep your say do ratio as high as possible. Consequences are amazing motivators, and I highly recommend you start using them. Now, the other caveat here is, if you do have a consequence and you don't do what you said you were going to, you got to be in integrity and actually fulfill on your consequence. Suffer the consequence like a woman or a man and just get her done. That's how you actually start to build the trust within yourself. Don't be a little biatch and give yourself an out and say, hey, you know what? It's okay. We kind of did this. I know I said I was going to do 10 outreaches, but I did 9, and this one person kind of counts. It's like, no, you lie to yourself, you break your own trust. It's going to just ripple into other areas of your life and your business. And unfortunately, it's going to hold you back. This is something, it's an internal struggle we all have. I have it just as much. Oh, I'll give myself a little out because I know I was sick, or I wasn't, you could use whatever excuse you want, right? But at the end of the day, you need to make your goals binary, where there's actual tangible outcome that you and only you are responsible for. That is where I think most people go awry with their goals, and where they break integrity with themselves, is they set goals that they are not 100% responsible for, right? So if you have a goal where you're like, I'm going to have a meeting with my CPA and go over my 2023 tax plan, like, that's a great goal, but that goal is not 100% within your control, because what happens if your CPA drops the ball and they're just not available to meet with you, right? So I'd rather set the goal of, I'm going to do a 5-page analysis of my 2023 tax planning and send an email to schedule a meeting to my CPA, right? So I'm responsible for all of that goal. That way I can do what I say I'm going to do wholeheartedly. I don't need to rely on anybody else. That's how you actually happy hustle in integrity. That's how you keep your say do ratio high, is you set smart goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. You've probably heard that acronym. I love that acronym when it comes to goal setting, because it works. You gotta set smart goals that are 100% within your control, and then you need to have consequences. That's how you keep your say do ratio high AF. My friend, let me tell you, do it and just watch your life transform. Keep your commitments to yourself. Do what you say you're going to do. If you tell your spouse you're going to do the dishes, do the damn dishes. If you tell your spouse you're going to, take the kids to school today, don't bail last minute. If you are going to call somebody and you tell them you're going to call them, or you're going to introduce somebody, do it. Like, don't let these things go through the cracks, because they break the trust. There's a windshield of trust with yourself. Every single time you break the trust, it's like a little chip in the windshield, a little rock that just comes up and it shatters just a little bit more, or it splinters a little bit more. And then eventually that windshield of trust will completely shatter, and you'll have to rebuild completely from scratch. Don't get to that point. Keep your word to yourself and keep your say do ratio high. That's the message for today. I hope you get some value, and I hope this just resonates and maybe helps you think about how you can, be in more integrity with yourself. And again, I'm not the guru here. I still catch myself not doing things that I say I'm going to do, and I Cheeto chop myself right back into action. I'm like, hey, no, you said you're going to do this. Keep your word and set a consequence, Cary, because this is important. So that's how I just stay, in integrity with myself. And it's more me being the reporter. This is something hot topic for me right now, and I wanted to share it with you. So I hope this was valuable. If you did get some value and you want to go deeper, check out my book, The Happy Hustle. 10 alignments to avoid burnout and achieve blissful balance. You can get it at thehappyhustlebook.com. We got our next book coming out very soon. Super excited for you guys to read it because it's such an amazing addition in terms of what we created from the first version to the second version. Like, the evolution has been, in my own, obviously humble opinion, such a profound evolution. Like, we really took the framework and made it so much better. So if you want to check out that new book, go to thehappyhustle.com/book. But the old book, you can get it at thehappyhustlebook.com. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Keep your say-do ratio high and happy hustle a life of just blissful balance, but full of integrity. Peace and love.